Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can tell by the title, it's that time of the month again. So today we will be taking a look at my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of July. Now before we dive into all of that, I want to welcome back any of my returning subscribers. And if you are new around here, welcome to the channel. On this channel, we do release brand new sneaker content just like this each and every week. So if you haven't already, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And if you do end up enjoying this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. I know you're sick of hearing it, but honestly, it really does help getting this video out to more and more people so we can keep expanding our community. And if you do want to find me outside of YouTube, you can find me over on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. And with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So just quickly before we dive into the video itself, I want to let all you guys know that all this information does come courtesy from the Soul Suppliers website. Now in the sneaker community, as we all know, sneaker releases can change at any given time for any given reason with very little notice. So do take this information with a pinch of salt, but as of today's date, which is the 27th of June, this is the most accurate and up-to-date information I could find. Now also what I will say as well is if you do want to check out these releases in any more detail, I will make sure to leave a link in my description area below to each individual release. All the information has been collected using the Soul Suppliers website, so a huge shout out to you guys. Really couldn't be possible to do these videos without you because it makes my life so much easier. And with all that said, if we now just go ahead and dive straight into the video. And kicking us off on this list today, we have a really exciting collaboration between New Balance and Bodega for the New Balance 990 V3. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of July for a retail price of £230. Now this shoe itself is actually dubbed Here to Stay and it's being released to celebrate 15 years of Bodega. Honestly, I'm not the biggest New Balance fan, but I am genuinely super excited for this release. Seeing the up-close images of this shoe is just absolutely incredible. It actually looks like a work of art to me. It's a really simple muted colorway, really simple colors that they've used, but this is genuinely up there for me as potentially maybe even one of the top 10 sneaker releases of the entire year. There's just something about the shoe, there's something about the colourway that's really speaking to me, and over the last few months I've definitely been taking notice of New Balance on a much higher level. Specifically when it comes to the collabs, they have to be top tier, always deliver when it comes to these really high profile releases. And according to New Balance as well, this shoe is actually made using very premium materials. So according to them, they're using pig suede, really nice premium mesh underlays, and the whole shoe is just super exciting to me. It is going to be releasing on the New Balance website, and I do believe it's going to be available via raffle as well. So next up on our list today, we have the Nike Oharachi in the deep magenta colorway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 2nd of July for a retail price of £110. Now, when it comes to Huaraches in general, I normally have a stance of take it or leave it, and I mostly don't even think about it too much. I either get it or I don't, and that's pretty much it. But with a shoe like this and a colourway like this, it's actually giving me Fresh Prince of Bel-Air vibes, and I just know I have to have it. I love the colourway, I think it's going to be great for summertime, and there's just something in particular about this shoe that's just making me want it so much. But when it actually comes to Huaraches, the quality is always pretty good, but it's never really that premium. So I'm honestly not expecting too much from it. What I normally do with my Huaraches is I rock it right the way throughout summer, and then just forget about them, and then just move on to my autumn and winter rotations. So this is definitely a shoe that's going to be rocked right the way throughout summer by me. You will definitely be seeing a review of this shoe on my channel, I can assure you of that. And when it actually does come to the release, I kind of think that this shoe is actually going to sit. Most Huaraches are sitting these days, even though the hype sort of came back. It seems to be dwindling once again. So I honestly recommend don't enter in too many raffles for this shoe. If you really want it, I do expect you will be able to get it. So the next one on our list is actually another entry by New Balance. We have the New Balance 550 in the Sea Salt University Gold colorway. Now this is also releasing on the 2nd of July, but this time for a retail price of £100. And like I've kind of touched on already when it comes to New Balance, they're definitely starting to do bits, and a lot more people are actually starting to take notice, myself included, like I've already said. But the 550 is definitely the silhouette that I've been watching the most. I've seen so many reviews on so many amazing colorways, and I've really been heavily influenced by my co-host on the Sneaker World Order. Ash is a massive fan of the 550s, and ever since we've been talking, I've really been keeping my eye out for the right colorway for me. This is definitely the one. There's been so many nice ones, but this one is the best of the bunch. There's just something about those University Gold hits. It just seems like a really nice premium shoe. And once again, because things are starting to open up again, I am really starting to look for everyday type of shoes. It's great to have hype releases, but honestly, we all need those everyday reliable shoes, and I do think this 550 would be a super reliable shoe for any collection. So once again, when it comes to this release, I do expect that, like the first New Balance, it is 1000% going to sell out. I don't think it's going to resell for as much money as the first New Balance, with it being a collab, but I still do think that there will be resale money to be made on this shoe. It will be available on the New Balance website, and I do expect that it will also be available via raffle as well. So next up, we do have a collaboration once again, but this time it's between Ishod Ware, Magnus Walker and Nike for the Nike SB Dunk High, scheduled to be releasing on the 3rd of July for a rumoured retail price of £105. Now, honestly, I don't know that much about this release. I've seen it on the Sneakers app, but honestly, it's not a shoe that appeals to me too much. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to read you a section of what it shows on the Sneakers app so we can get a real good sense of what this release is all about. So what it says on the Sneakers app is, Ishod Ware is celebrated for his ability to make magic happen on a skate deck, but away from the park, he passionately supports a different type of four-wheel transportation. In commemoration of Ishod's long-served love of cars, the special edition Dunk sees Ware join forces with another friend of the brand, fellow LA car enthusiast Magnus Walker. It then goes on to say that the shoe's graphics and hues mimic a German sports car made famous in Walker's film Urban Outlaw. Never seen it. The leather upper will wear away over time and reveal a gold layer underneath. Doesn't say underneath, but you get the gist. I'm not sure what it is about these wear away uppers. I kind of like it, but I'm not so sure on it as well. I know they did that on the Hawaii release, and it actually did look really good on that shoe. But it then just goes on to reveal that the layer of gold is actually the original colour of the design's muse, which I believe is the sports car. There's also embroidery on the heel and the tongue, which depicts the Union Jack flag, with accompanying tartan check lining on the inside of each shoe. Finally, racing-inspired visuals sit on the lateral heel, sock liner, quarter panels and midsole, ensuring that style makes a statement even when flying at high speeds. Now, the shoe itself seems pretty interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that this is actually going to wear away over time. It's not something, like I say, that I'm personally that interested in. I don't really know much about the people who have, done the design of it. So, honestly, I'm not sure whether or not this is actually a shoe I'm going to be going for the personal collection. The fact that it is a collaboration, though, means that this shoe is 100% going to sell out. I know a lot of people are really excited for it. If you're a fan of the film, you're probably wanting it for sentimental reasons or just because you're a big fan of the film. But I'm just not sure how I feel about it, so I do expect that it will resell for quite a lot of money. I do expect that it is going to actually sell out on release as well, so do make sure to get all your raffle entries in. I'm not sure if the raffles are up as yet, but if you do check the raffles guide over on the Source Suppliers website, all the information will be there for any raffles if there are any. So the next one up on our list is also releasing on the 3rd of July. This time it is the Jordan 4 in the white Oreo colourway. Now this will be releasing for a retail price of £165. I'm pretty sure we covered this last month, and I do believe that the first release was expected for June. It looks like it's been pushed back. Like I touched on at the start of the video, that can happen from time to time, and it definitely appears like that was the case with this release as well. Now, this is definitely a shoe that's kind of taking my focus away from the SB, like I just touched on. I'm definitely going for this shoe 100%. I'm not the biggest Jordan 4 fan. I don't generally find them too comfortable to wear, but there's just something about this that just means that I have to have it. It's as simple as that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact I don't have the white cements. I love the white cements. This is not the white cements.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But there are certain characteristics of this shoe which are reminiscent of the Jordan 4 white cement. I know people don't like that, and people are like, if you want the white cements, get them. But it's not always achievable, and it's pretty expensive to pick the white cements up at this point. So I'll definitely happily settle for these as a very, very good alternative option. I've seen a few reviews already. A lot of people are saying that the leather quality on this shoe is actually really good. So I'm really excited to see how this shoe does hold up if I am fortunate enough to actually get this pair. I know my missus really wants it as well. She's been chasing Jordan 4s for weeks, months, even going on a year now. She's just, every time a Jordan 4 comes out that she likes, she just can't seem to get it, and she's adamant that she'll never pay a resale, so gotta respect it. But with that said, we are both aiming to try and hit personal pairs. I'm not sure whether or not this shoe is going to be reselling for an exorbitant amount of money like what we saw with the UNC 4s. I don't think it's going to hit those levels, I'm going to be honest. It will definitely 100% sell out, I have no doubts about that. But about the actual resale price of it, I think it's going to go quite a lot over retail, but I definitely don't see it in the 300 to 400 range like we've seen with other Jordan 4 releases. I could be completely wrong about that, so just take my opinion with a pinch of salt. But with that said, this shoe is definitely going to sell out. It is available on Sneakers and it will be available via raffle as well. So do make sure to get all your raffle entries in early. Hopefully, the good majority that are watching this video will be able to cop. And next up, we have the Air Jordan 3 in the Razor Blue colorway. Now, this is scheduled to be releasing on the 10th of July for a retail price of £165. For me, the Jordan 3 is in my top 3 favourite shoe of all time, regardless of whether it's Jordan brand, but just in general, top 3 favourite shoe. So whenever there's a Jordan 3 release in any month, I always keep a very close eye out for it. With this colourway though, I'm really not sure how I'm feeling. The leather quality seems pretty decent on the pictures that I've seen. It seems like it's a really nice tumbled leather. The Razor Blue accents, they seem really nice as well. Really good for summertime. But there's just something about the elephant print that's just massively putting me off. Now, I like the traditional elephant print. I also don't necessarily mind it when they change it up for certain releases. But I really have no idea what they're doing with this specific shoe. It kind of feels like they've smudged it in a way. It looks really dark. It seems like they filled the gaps where there would normally be some, so you can really see the defining details of it. And honestly, it's really putting me off. Now, like I do with all Jordans, specifically Jordan 3s, I'll definitely be going for it for a review at least. Whether or not I keep it in the personal collection definitely remains to be seen. Hopefully, I do like it in hand because, like I say, I just love the Jordan 3 so much. But when I'm trying to be kind of selective, I kind of have to think, is this a shoe I'm going to wear, or is it just going to be a shoe that just sits on a shelf? So if I really like it, I'll definitely keep it. If not, I will be letting it go. But hopefully, at the very minimum, I will be able to bring you guys a review. When it comes to actually the resale of Jordan 3s, there's never that much hype surrounding it. Obviously, there are certain exceptions to that rule. So, for instance, collabs like the Amamon the Fragment 3s, those always resell for quite a lot of money. But the standard Jordan 3 releases, so like what we've seen this year with the cool greys, the midnight navies, they tend to sit, and I do expect that this will be very much the same. So when it comes to entering raffles, do err on the side of caution. Don't enter an abundance of raffles, because I do expect that if you really, really want this shoe, you will definitely be able to get it. And next up on our list, we have the Air Jordan 1 Low in the Wolf Grey colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 15th of July for a retail price of £100. Recently, we did have the release of the Air Jordan 1 Low in the neutral grey colourway. I'm going to be honest, I literally slept in on that release. I didn't even bother to wake up for it. And the reason for that is this shoe in particular. In general, I don't go for the Jordan 1 Lows. They just don't look right on me, and I just don't really like the overall shape of them. Even though it's a Jordan 1 shape, it just looks a little bit weird. But there's just something about this shoe that I've just absolutely fallen in love with. I'm not sure if it's the fact that the upper is very reminiscent of the Jordan 1 Dior's. Whether you see it or not, it definitely has that kind of stylistic look to it. And especially the colourway, very much the same. But there's just something about that icy outsole that's just making me really, really want this shoe for the personal collection. We don't often see icy outsole on Jordan 1 lows, mids, or even highs. So whenever it is on the Jordan 1, I absolutely try and cop it with everything that I've got, because it just looks great. I love icy outsoles. I know they're really hard to maintain, and I know they're yellow over time, but that definitely is never going to put me off buying it. If anything, it just incentivizes me to buy the shoe, because I keep generally good care of my shoes anyway, so the icing turning yellow is never really a big issue for me. I just think this colourway is really fire, and I really, really hope I am able to get this for my personal collection. I do expect that this shoe will be selling out. I think because of the fact that it has that Jordan 1 Dior vibe about it, I think so many people are going to be gassed about it. So this shoe is 100% going to sell out. This should be available via Sneakers app, I believe, but the actual confirmed release information hasn't been released as yet. So I'm not sure if it's going to be raffles and Sneakers app, or if it's just going to be a standard GR release on the Nike app and then at your standard retailers. If I do get any update at all on it, I will make sure to update my community tab, and I will also be posting updates over on Instagram as well, so do make sure to give me a follow. And next up on our list, we have another Jordan 1. This time it is the Air Jordan 1 High in the electric orange colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 17th of July for a retail price of £140, and we did actually cover this on my recent podcast that we did with the Sneaker World Order, so I'm not going to go too in detail because I really want you guys to watch it. But just as a quick spoiler alert, this shoe is definitely getting a hard pass from me. In general, I'm pretty much passing on most Jordan 1s anyway. They're just not shoes that I want to rock in my current rotation. And like I've already touched on numerous videos, because I don't find them comfortable, I'm just not going to bother buying them. But there are certain things about the shoe that I just really don't like. And one of those things is the fact that around the heel, we have a white leather, I think. It would have looked so much better if it would have been orange to match the ankle collar. I think that little change would have made the world of difference. So in general, for me, it's definitely getting a hard pass. I just don't think it's that much of a decent colorway, and I just don't think it's actually worth picking up. If I can get it for a review, I will 100% do that so you guys can see up close what it looks like on the channel. But for personal, I think I'm definitely going to pass on it. I do expect that this shoe will actually sell out, and I do think it is going to resell for a pretty decent amount of money like we see with most Jordan 1s. So if you really do want to pick up this shoe, do make sure to get all your raffle entries in, because this shoe will definitely sell out. So the next one on the list is actually a complete polar opposite to what we've just touched on. This time we have the Air Jordan 5 Oreo, scheduled to be releasing on the 24th of July for a retail price of £165. Now for me, this is undoubtedly a must cop. I mean, how could you not want this shoe for your collection? It's absolutely stunning. The upper is this suede nubuck blend, I believe. It looks incredible. The details on the shark teeth, the icy outsole, all of it just makes me need this shoe for my personal collection. I love the Jordan 5. I have a few in my collection already, and this is a super nice, versatile colorway that I can add to my collection, hopefully. Now, personally, I wouldn't wear this shoe in the summertime. This is something I'd probably save, store away for around autumn and winter. But around that time, it's just a really simple, clean colorway to rock around those times of year. So yeah, absolutely, this is 100% a must cop. I do think a few people might be put off by the fact of there being a Jumpman on the heel instead of the Nike Air. I don't mind it, I get why they do it. For those that don't know, the reason it's a Jumpman and not the Nike Air is because this isn't an OG colorway, but it takes nothing away from me. I do expect that this shoe will sell out. I think a lot of people are really excited for it, myself included. And I do expect that this will be available on the Sneakers app as well as via raffle. And last but by no means least, we reached number 10 for this list. We have the Air Jordan 12 Twist in the University Red colorway. Now this shoe is scheduled to be releasing on the 31st of July for a retail price of £165. And honestly, I love the Jordan 12, but I do believe I'm actually going to be passing on this one. Now, like I've been touching on throughout the video, I'm loading up my summer collection, but when it actually comes to a summer collection, I really wouldn't be putting Jordan 12s in there. Just because of how the shoe feels on feet, it's just not something that I personally would resonate towards on a really hot day. So with that in mind, because of how white the actual shoe is and how hard the upkeep is going to be to keep that shoe looking fresh, it's just too much hassle. And I think if they had more accent colours, so like more red throughout the shoe other than the sock liner and the little bit on the midsole, I think that might justify me buying it. But there's just honestly not enough going on for me to actually feel like this is worth picking up. And with that said, I do expect that this shoe is actually going to sit. Not sure for how long. I don't think it's going to be sitting around for too long, waiting around on shelves. But I think if you really, really want this shoe, I would definitely say err on the side of caution again when it comes to raffles. This shoe is probably going to be readily available. The stock numbers are probably going to be really high. So I definitely wouldn't be rushing out to pay the resale prices. See how you get on release. And I do expect even if you don't hit for retail, it will be around that retail price point even after release. Now, we do actually have a bonus entry for this list. I don't really like doing the bonus entries because it kind of feels like cheating, but especially with this particular style of shoe, I didn't actually consider it a sneaker, so I thought we could include it. So there is actually going to be another Yeezy Foam Runner releasing at some point in July. As things stand right now, there's no official release date, but if I do get an update, I will make sure to update you guys. Now, these retail for a retail price of £70, and with all the controversy with Kanye and Walmart, it would be foolish for me to not include it in this video. Now, the shoe itself, in terms of the overall colourway, I'm all for it. This is definitely a must-cop for me. I regret letting go of the MXT Moon Greys. I really wish I'd have kept it, honestly.
What a plonker.
And I kind of feel like it was one of those biggest regrets for the year so far in terms of shoes I've actually let go of. The more I've kind of looked at it and the more I've kind of regretted selling it, it's just one of those things where it's kind of eating away at me at this point. I refuse to pay a resale myself for them. I don't see the value in it. But if I can hit again for retail, I'm 1000% going to keep this in my collection. Because when it comes to comfort and the fact that I'll be back in the office soon, because unfortunately, YouTube isn't paying the bills just yet. So when I am back in the office, the Foam Runner would definitely come in handy. So this is 100% going to be a must cop. I think a lot of people are going to be going for it. Opinions seem to be changing when it comes to the foam runner as well. I see a lot more people are accepting of it, and a lot more people are excited for releases and not just for the resale value. So this is definitely going to be a must-cop for me. I'm really excited for it. The colorway is clean, it's fire, it's great for summer. And I think the hype, especially now with Kanye and Walmart, I think even more people are going to start gravitating towards it as well. So if you really want it, it's always available on the Adidas Confirmed app. And I do expect that it will be available via raffle as well. And other than that, we've just about covered my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of July. But I'd love to hear yours as well. So please make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you have stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please make sure to smash that subscribe button. Also, on your way out, if you could give this video a massive thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you all again in the next one.